lithium-ion battery warning on them. So I'm guessing they supply the batteries that you need. And inside there's this nice little plastic package. I do like these bike lights that have got a real torch on them that you can easily lift off the mount, because just occasionally when you're out riding it's quite handy to be able to take the torch off your bike lights and do other stuff with it if you're unfortunate enough to need to make any kind of repair, or if you drop something and need to look for it. So here you are, these are nicely sealed, look, with these little seals here. Really nice looking package. Beeway it says on them. Beeway use Amazion, so there we are, Venucia bike light set, and it's got one of these rear lights that's got several modes, including these little laser things that shine on the road behind you to make you more visible, and they supply you with some AAA size batteries for the rear LED light. Before I put this on, I'm going to stick a little bit of tape over the battery compartment, because just a couple of times I've had the battery compartments fall off these things and it can be a bit of a nuisance. So I normally stick a bit of tape over them now just to make sure. No aspersions on this particular one, I'm sure it's excellent. And here is the front torch. It's got a wrist strap on it, so you can pop that round your clamp to stop it from falling off accidentally. When it's pulled in, it's reasonably positive, but it's quite easy to push it straight out. And inside here, that's just a focus, I beg its pardon. Here we are, unscrew this. Inside here is the battery compartment for this one, and this one is going to require AAA batteries too, or you can put one of these in. So you've got a choice here. You can either use, I'm not sure whether they're AA or AAA in this battery holder, or you can use one of the 18650, and the 18650 battery is actually a bit smaller than these battery holders, and these people actually supply you with a nice sleeve to go around the battery. That's a very good feature, because before, when I've had one of these that had the choice, the 18650 battery was loose when you put it in the torch, but this one is nice and tight. So I just pop it in, do up the back, and see if it's working. Yeah, there is some charge in that torch, and as you can see, I've got the thing set to the minimum focus. Sorry, I've got the thing set to the minimum focus at the moment, so I'm just projecting an image of the LED onto the table or onto my hand. It might be easier to see, but you'd obviously normally want it set to a much wilder field for cycling, because you need to be able to see where you're going. So really a very nice light indeed. Very pleased with this. I shall do some playing around. I shall stick it on a bike and do some videoing with it, and then get the review done. I do like these. Very, very good lights. I've got a few that are like this, and this is as good as any of the others I have. Okay, so the time has come to fit this set of lights to this bicycle. We'll do the front light first. I'm going to have to work out the best way to get it tight, because it does slide in and out of this plastic sleeve a bit. So here we have two pieces of rubber spacers. I think I'm going to take the inside one out, because it's going on a fairly thick bar here, and I don't think I'm going to need the inside spacer. So I'll take it out and fit it, and then we'll do a little bit more filming. There, I think I found the best solution. I've moved it to the middle. It's now nice and tight, because it's on a sort of fairly flat piece of handlebar, and it does leave me some space to replace my broken belt. So what I've done here is I've clamped the light as tightly as I can in its collar, and I've pulled the wrist strap through as well to give it a bit extra grip, and that seems to work quite well. Right, so I put this light together, I put the batteries in it, I've stuck some bits of insulating tape over it, because this light's actually pretty good and it doesn't come apart very easily. But I have in the past had battery compartments fall off, and I've also in the past had this kind of light vibrate off its holder. This one seems to be better than the other ones I've had, but I'm just being on the safe side, sticking a bit of insulating tape over. I know I've only torn it with my teeth and so on, which is a bit slobby, but I think it's worth doing, because it does mean you're less likely to lose any of the bits. And it's a great shame when you have a really good set of lights like this if you end up accidentally losing a bit. Now, I don't know if you can really see this, but there are some little sort of ridges here which catch on the little ridges on this bit, so that the light doesn't slop about once you've done it up. So I'm just going to put it on, do it up, and then I'll take a photo. Okay, so that's now done up. I will hope to do some filming in the dark before I wrap this up. This clamp's actually a lot better than the one I had on the similar light that I've just taken off this bike. I do think this is a better light, and you'll notice I've also got another light here. I got these when I bought the bike. They're just sort of cheap lights, basically for emergencies, make sure I've at least got a light on it, and this one is a much better light, I think, but it's always nice to have two at the back, because you can't see what's coming at you from behind. And here we are on the front, and you can see again I've got the light that I originally got with the bike on there, and this one has replaced another similar light, similar power, but it was a much bigger light. And this one I think is probably going to be more convenient. The only thing the other one had going for it, which this one doesn't, is the other one had a little port on it so you could charge your phone from it. But hopefully I won't often want to use a sat-nav on a bike at night, so that'll be alright. I'm pleased with that. Roll on darkness.
Okay, now let me talk you through the modes. This is the rear light on steady. And now I'm going to try and find the light for the LED lights. There we are, there's the button for the LED lights. It's a bit difficult on this bike because of the way the saddlebag is when you're doing it in darkness like I am at the moment. Normally there's some light when I'm turning these on and off. That's the flashing rear light mode. I don't think it's really legal in this country to have flashing lights attached to your bikes, although a lot of people do because they are that much more noticeable. I'm not expecting any traffic, so I'm just going to leave it flashing and put the steady red light on as well to cover the legal needs. That is flashing on the front light. You should never ever use that when you're riding in traffic. I know it's more noticeable, but it's very distracting, and trust me, I've driven against people doing that, and you're likely to end up getting hit. You've got a full brightness mode, and this is the lower brightness mode. This is very useful for traffic because these lights are very bright, and the lowest brightness mode is plenty on a well-lit street. I'm going to full brightness because I'm going off-road. Okay, so first off I'm going up the hill on the road, and you can see the reflection of the light off that number plate and so on. It actually gives a lot more light than you can see here because my eyes are much better at seeing than the bike is, than the camera is. And here I've narrowed the headlight down a bit to give more light just in the middle of what I'm looking at, and that's because I'm just about to go into the woods. I've just turned my head torch on to reinforce it so that you can see the effect of being able to look around and put light where you want to go. Here we are, we're in the woods, and now I put the head torch on as well, so you can see with the two of them together I can see really well where I'm going, and with just the headlight on its own I can actually see plenty.